Hi, hi everyone. So we were looking at coordination compounds. So this is part 7. We are running through that valence bond theory. Hope all of you are doing good. The thing is, the initiative that you want to learn online itself is a good thing. That this is a kind of Ekalavya Vidya, I would say, that you want to learn on your own. So when the moment you feel that you need to learn on your own, there is no stoppage. So that's a very good intuition, I should say. So this is one such platform where you can learn online, and there is no boundaries, there is no time limit, and there is no harping, there is no hindering anywhere. That you want to learn online, that itself is a good thing. So it's a good initiative that you are listening to the class. Okay, so anyway, I would like to appreciate on that note. And apart from that, we are looking at what valence bond theory. Yesterday we have seen even tetrahedral complexes, and one or two square planar complexes as well we have seen. Okay, so which square planar complexes we have seen? So these square planar complexes we have seen, like in the case of NiCl4 minus 2 tetrachloronickelate complex we have seen, and we have seen the it's at the end of each and every complex we just try to answer these things, that what is the geometry of them and what type of complex is that and its magnetic property, and if magnetic property is existing, that also we have just simply try to sum up. So those are some tetrahedral complexes, and one square planar complex also we have seen. Usually in tetrahedral complexes the hybridization is sp3, and in the case of square planar complexes you are having dsp2 hybridization or sp2 d hybridization you are having, isn't that? So next one that we are going through is this nickel complex. Okay, so tetracyanonickelate, tetracyanonickelate, four cyanides are there. So it's tetracyanonickelate, nickel with two oxidation state, and minus 2 is there. So obviously four cyanides are rendering minus 4, nickel is plus 2. So as a whole the charge sum of algebraic sum of charges is equal to what? Minus 2 here. So that's how it is, and we just try to give its geometry, its magnetic property, and its structure we will try to give, and its hybridization also. Okay, na? Possible hybridization also we will try to mention that. Nickel, what is the atomic number of nickel there? It's 28. So atomic number of nickel is a 28. Z of nickel is 28, and its ground state configuration will be argon 18. After that it is 18 it will be, and 4s2 3d8, 4s2 20, and 3d8 is 28. So argon, up to argon it is 18, 4s2 20, and 3d8, and with 4p having 0 electrons. And now nickel in this complex is in plus 2 oxidation state. So when it is in plus 2 oxidation state, so it loses 2 electrons, and those 2 electrons are lost from which orbital? 4s orbital. Now the configuration will become as what? Argon 3d8, 4s 0 it becomes as. Argon 3d8, 4s 0, and 4p is also 0. So how will you represent 3d8 electrons? 3d8 electrons, d having 5 half filled first, and 3 electrons will be pairing up. So now it undergoes a dsp2 hybridization after pairing, that we shall see here. So have a look at nickel with the ground state and plus 2 configuration is 3d8 having paired up electrons, 1 2 3 paired up electrons, and these two are unpaired electrons, 4s 0 and 4p is also 0. Now who is approaching towards this nickel plus 2? Cyanide is approaching towards your nickel plus 2. So this is your central metal ion Ni plus 2, and towards this who is approaching? Cyanide, that is a strong field ligand, is approaching. When that cyanide is approaching towards your Ni plus 2, some changes has to occur within this Ni plus 2. And what is the change we referred as? Hybridization. And that hybridization is what? dsp2. dsp2, inner n-1 d orbital is involved, and 4s and 4p orbitals too are involved within this intermixing. And before that what happens is, when a cyanide like strong field ligand is approaching, it is carrying a heavy charge. Your cyanide is carrying what charge? Heavy charge cyanide is carrying. When it is heavily charged and it is coming close to electrons of nickel plus 2, what happens is it will forcefully pair up the electrons present in 3d orbitals. Your cyanide having carbon and nitrogen, as we have already learned that it's a strong field ligand. So a strong field ligand like cyanide is approaching towards your water nickel plus 2. When it is approaching towards your nickel plus 2, what happens? Electrons present in nickel plus 2 will forcefully pair up. Instead of single electrons, they will pair up, and this is happening because what? Because of a cyanide ligand. And you can see pairing of electrons against Hund's rule. Now you have 4 pairs. D8 configuration is having what? 4 pairs of electrons, and one of the d orbital is empty here, and this d orbital along with 4s and 4p orbitals will intermix, resulting in what? TsP2 hybridization. And dsp2 hybrid orbitals are in what geometry? Square planar geometry. dsp2 hybrid orbitals are in square planar geometry, and these 4 hybrid orbitals will direct around the 4 corners of a square plane and invite your cyanide ligand for coordinate covalent bond. Invite your cyanide ligand for coordinate covalent bond. Then it results in what? Your tetracyanonickelate 2 complex ion it results in. That's how it is resulting in. Okay? You will represent something like that. And the geometry of this complex is what? Square planar. And what is the type of complex? It is a low spin complex. Why low spin complex you have written? Because here what is paired up? Electrons are paired up. So the spin is decreasing. So why it is represented as a low spin complex, and you write this one as a inner orbital complex. We write that one as what? Inner orbital complex. Orbital complex. We write that one as. So why it is inner orbital complex? Tell me. It's because here inner n-1 d orbital, 3d orbitals are involved in hybridization. So we classify them as what? Inner orbital complex, low spin complex. And the magnetic property is what? Diamagnetic. Magnetic property is a diamagnetic with mu is equal to what? 0 Bohr magnetons. Bm stands for Bohr magnetons. Since all electrons are paired up, here all electrons are paired up, so you can say that it is what? Zero magnetic moment with diamagnetic nature. Okay, so these are the 4 things that you should answer at the end of every complex: geometry, type of complex, and magnetic property and magnetic moment, how much it is. Okay, that's how you draw its structure. One more complex it is. The next one is tetraamine copper 2 complex ion. Tetraamine copper 2 complex ion. Here, what is that central metal ion? Copper plus 2. Central metal ion is copper plus 2, and the copper's atomic number is 29. Its ground state configuration is written as what? Anomalous configuration will write as 3d10, 4s1 and 4p0. So it's not 4s2. Instead, it is what? 3d10, 4s1. So copper plus 2 configuration is written as with the loss of 2 electrons, one from 4s1 and one from 3d10. If you remove, it results in 3d9, 4s0, 4p0. Now it has to undergo a hybridization, wherein it undergoes dsp2 hybridization. One of the electrons shifts from 3d to 4p. Electron jumps from 4d9 to 4p0. It becomes as 3d8 and 4p1 it becomes as. How it becomes? Have a look at. So that's a peculiar thing. Some kind of, as we said, that this is hypothetical process. Intermixing of atomic orbitals is what process? Hypothetical process. ఊహాజనిత పద్ధతి అనుకున్నాం మనం. ఓకేనా? సో ఇది ఊహాజనిత పద్ధతి కాబట్టి సో సమ్ పాసిబిలిటీస్ ఆర్ దేర్. So thus you can say here copper plus 2 is having what configuration? 3d9. So one of the electron is shifting here. Have a look at here. So it is shifting from, so have a look at, it is shifting from here to here. From 3d to 4p, that single electron has been shifted. So thus it provides what? dsp2 hybrid orbitals it produces. dsp2 hybrid orbitals. How many such orbitals? If 4 atomic orbitals are intermixing, you will obviously get 4 hybrid orbitals. If 4 atomic orbitals are intermixing, the resulting hybrid orbitals are also 4. What are the 4 hybrid orbitals that are formed? dsp2. What are the orbitals that are intermixing? d1s, and 2 p orbitals. So that's how you got what? 4 hybrid orbitals. And these 4 hybrid orbitals, as we have already learned in VBT postulates, will be directed towards the 4 corners of a tetrahedron, sorry, 4 corners of a square plane. So once they are directed towards 4 corners of a square plane, now they will invite your amine ligand. Okay, so they invite your amine ligand, and it results in what? Coordinate covalent bonds. So these are the electron pairs from your amines: 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 pairs are from amine ligands, resulting in a square planar complex, and it is what? A paramagnetic complex. Guess why it is a paramagnetic complex? D all electrons paired up, S all electrons paired up, P electrons paired up, and one unpaired electron is there here. Have a look at one that we have shifted from 3D to 4p. This is unpaired electron. So if unpaired electron is present, obviously the complex becomes what? Complex becomes paramagnetic, and we need to calculate its magnetic moment also. So those we will try to answer. So that's the structure of what that's the structure of your tetraamine copper 2 complex, and we will try to answer all the 4 properties. That what is the geometry? Geometry is square planar. And what is the type of complex? It is a low spin complex. What? It's a and magnetic property is what? Paramagnetic. Paramagnetic. And what else you can answer? Magnetic moment is calculated mu is equal to root over n into n plus 2. Root over n into n plus 2. So it's n into n plus 2, root over n into n plus 2. So where n is what? Number of unpaired electrons. So how many unpaired electrons we came across here? One unpaired electron. One unpaired. From the configuration, it is one unpaired electron. So that one unpaired electron will substitute in place of n. So 1 into 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 ones are 3. So square root of 3 is 1.73 Bohr magnetons. So that's how you calculate what? Magnetic property. And this is a square plane structure. How? This is pink one is what? Your copper plus 2. And the white balls are representing, just I have represented as white balls, but it is NH3. So on paper you will represent something like this. Cu NH3 taken 4 times plus 2. Its structure is represented with a normal straight line. So if you go for writing while scribbling or while writing down, you will represent something like that. Okay, so that's your tetraamine copper 2 complex ion, and its hybridization dsp2. Magnetic moment is not equal to 0. Magnetic moment is equal to 1.73 Bohr magnetons, since it is having unpaired electron. Okay, so let's go with one more complex, PtCl4 minus 2. PtCl4 minus 2 tetrachloridoplatinate 2 complex ion. Tetrachloridoplatinate 2 complex ion. So here what is atomic number of platinum? 78. Atomic number of platinum is 78. At least for the sake of EAN calculation also we should learn atomic number of platinum. Okay, and ground state configuration is written as xenon 4f14, 5d9 and 6s1. 5d9, 6s1. It's not 6s2. It's 5d9, 6s1. Pt plus 2. Going to its extra stability of half-filled configurations will have extra stability. So 6s1 it is given as. Platinum exhibits extra stability also. So Pt plus 2 configuration is remove 2 electrons. 6s1 will be lost and 5d9 will become as 5d8. So configuration is written as 2 electrons are lost. 4f14, 5d8, 6s0 and 6p 0. And now this Pt undergoes dsp2 hybridization with its hybrid orbitals directed towards corners of a square plane. So it is going to 5d8. Comfortably you can write as what? Something like that. So though chloride is not a strong field ligand, still what happened there? While this ligand is approaching towards Pt plus 2, pairing has occurred. As an exception, you should keep it in mind. And why it is undergoing that kind of pairing? Because of effective nuclear charge of this platinum. Platinum's effective nuclear charge will be high because 4f orbitals are there. So what happens? Shielding effect is less. If shielding effect is less, electrons are pulled more towards what? Your electrons are pulled more towards your nucleus. So Z effective will be more in the case of a platinum plus 2, or you can say effective nuclear charge is more. So as such, what happens? Pairing of electrons occurs when chloride is approaching towards your platinum plus 2. What happens? Because of high nuclear charge, what happens is electrons forcefully paired up. This is an exception. You should keep it in mind. And the explanation is given as what? Effective nuclear charge is more in this case. And now hybridization is what? DsP2 hybridization. If we once it undergoes DsP2 hybridizations, the hybrid orbitals are directed towards four corners of a tetrahedron. Four corners of a square plane. So as such, your chlorides will be directed towards what? Four corners of square plane. So DsP2 hybridization, and chloride supplies these pairs of electrons. And do you have any unpaired electrons here? No unpaired electrons. As there is no unpaired electrons, what happens? It is a diamagnetic substance. It becomes as. That's how you can represent its structure. Pt with 4 chlorines directed at four corners. So geometry is what? Square planar. What is the type of complex? Low spin complex, because spins are paired up, so becomes as a low spin complex. Is it an inner orbital complex or not? So obviously, again here also you can write that one as inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex you can write as orbital complex. Why inner orbital complex? Because n-1 d orbitals are involved. What are involved here? n-1 d orbitals are involved. So you can write that one as what? It's a low inner orbital complex. And magnetic property is what? Diamagnetic, because no unpaired electrons. Mu is equal to 0 Bohr magnetons, since no unpaired. So at the end of every complex, if you could summarize this one, which means that you could able to follow VBT. That VBT is understood, you can say. Okay, so that's how tetrachlorido platinum 2 complex ion can be, platinate 2 complex ion can be discussed in terms of its valence bond theory. So this valence bond theory is giving us what? In which direction your bond is directed. That's the main important thing. Direction of the bond, directional nature of the bond is given, and from that you got structure. So by simply looking at the molecule, you could give all this. This is all hypothetical now. So you can give by simply looking at the molecule. It will help us in understanding the theory of complexes. Now one or two octahedral complexes also let us see. So start with FeCN6 minus 3. FeCN6 minus 3. So what is its name? Hexacyanoferrate, because the charge is what? Minus. So here it is hexacyanoferrate 3 complex. Cyanides will render -1 charge. 6 cyanides will render -6. So, but the charge given is -3. Sum of charges becomes equal to -3, provided your iron is carrying +3 charge. Okay, so 6 cyanides plus 3 on iron will make the charge as what? -3. So that's how you can write. So Fe atomic number is 26. Its ground state configuration is what? Argon 18, 4s2, 3d6. Argon 3d6, 4s2. So now Fe plus 3 configuration will be what? Fe plus 3 will be 3 electrons lost. 4s will be losing 2 electrons, and 3d will lose 1 electron, making that one as 3d5 and 4s 0 configuration. So and 4p still is 0. Now it has to undergo some kind of what changes before cyanide comes to that. So when cyanide is approaching, when your cyanide is approaching towards what? When cyanides are approaching towards your central metal ion, some changes has to occur here within that. That changes we study as what? Hybridization. Changes within the central metal ion is studied as what? Hybridization. And what kind of changes it is undergoing? So as you know that how many ligands are approaching? 6 ligands are approaching towards. 6 ligands are approaching towards your central metal ion. So to accommodate those 6 ligands, it will undergo, this central metal ion will undergo some change. And that change is what? Hybridization. And what kind of hybridization you will try to propose? Based on this ligand. And this ligand is a strong field ligand. It's a carbon containing ligand, nitrogen containing ligand. So obviously you would expect the ligands to be strong field ligands. So as these are strong field ligands, what happens? The inner orbitals of this iron can be used. Inner d orbitals can be used, and forcefully pairing of electrons occurs. All that happens with what? with your iron when this strong field ligand is approaching towards your iron. And as such, the hybridization is expected to be D2sp3. Anyway, we will see that how D2sp3 occurs. So here in this case, iron in ground state is having 3D with 6 electrons, 4s with 2 electrons, Fe plus 3, lost 3 electrons, making that one as 3D5 configuration with 5 unpaired electrons. 5 unpaired electrons. Now, when cyanide is approaching, against Hund's rule, all these 5 electrons will pair up. 1, 2, how many pairs are possible? 2 pairs and one lone single pair, single electron is there, unpaired electron. And now what undergoes? D2 are available, 1s, 3 orbitals, 3p orbitals, D2sp3. D2sp3 hybridization occurs, resulting in what? D2sp3 orbitals to accommodate these 6 cyanides. That's how results in D2sp3 hybridization, and still you are having one unpaired electron pair. And into these orbitals, who will come? Into these orbitals D2sp3, your cyanide will bring electron pairs. Your cyanide is what? Lewis base brings those electron pairs here, and Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3 acts as what? Lewis acid. So that you should keep it in mind. Always your ligands are bringing electron pairs, and to accommodate those electron pairs, your central metal ion is undergoing some changes, hypothetical changes, and that we studied as a hybridization in VBT. And on hybridization, it resulted in D2sp3, and if these D2sp3 hybrid orbitals are directed at corners of an octahedron, and your cyanide is supposed to come along the corners of this octahedron. So that's along the corners of octahedron. You can have a look at how this octahedron would look like. So that's how you can imagine the structure to be. Okay, so this is a corner, one of the corners, 4 corners, 5th corner and 6th corner. 4 corners here, 5th corner and 6th corner. That's how you can imagine the structure like. Okay, so that's your octahedral nature of what? Your cyanide, hexacyanoferrate. So sum up that simply. Geometry is what? Octahedral. Type of is a low spin complex, spin paired complex. Why low spin? Because 5 unpaired electrons are paired up. When cyanide is approaching towards central metal ion, what happens? Spins are paired up. So spin paired complex, low spin complex. And here also you can mention one more, octahedral. And here also you can write one more thing. What is that? It is a inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex. Why inner orbital complex? Because inner d orbitals are involved. Which are involved? Inner d orbitals, n-1 d orbitals are involved. So have a look at. So inner, these are the inner d orbitals, 3d orbitals. 4s and 4p are outer. 3d is what? n-1 d orbital. n-1 is 3 here, n is 4s, n is 4p. So n-1 d orbital, ns orbital and np orbitals are involved. So we classify the complex as what? Inner orbital complex. Okay. Now comes up with next one. Magnetic property. What about its magnetic property? It's a paramagnetic because one single electron is there. Unpaired electron is there, one. So go for calculating its magnetic moment. It is given as what? What is the magnetic moment? Spin only magnetic moment is calculated as a root over n into n plus 2, where n is the number of unpaired electrons. You have one unpaired electron there, and one unpaired electron is there. So 1 into 1 plus 2, making that one as a 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 ones are 3. Square root of 3 is 1.73 Bohr magnetons. 1.73 Bohr magnetons. So only for complexes he may ask you directly calculate what about magnetic moment also. He will give you 2 complexes and he may ask you to calculate magnetic moment. That may be asked for a 4 marks question also. So n defines the means. Your marks also will one of the way to understand what your knowledge. So anyway, that's how this usually asked to calculate magnetic moment. And one more complex with iron, FeCN6 minus 4. Simply what is change there? Charge is different here. Earlier it is what? Minus 3. Now it is minus 4. Minus 4 complexes simply decrease the oxidation state. Decrease the oxidation state. So here it is Fe plus 2 complex. How will you name this complex? FeCN6 minus 4. FeCN6 minus 4. So how will you name that? Hexacyanoferrate 2 complex. Earlier it is hexacyanoferrate 3 complex, now it is a hexacyanoferrate 3 complex. And go for a structure. How will you determine its geometry and all? By using VBT. Try to write its atomic number 26, ground state configuration is 3 argon 3d6 4s2 4p0, and Fe plus 2 loses 2 electrons. From 4s it has lost 2 electrons, resulting in 4s0 4p0, and then 3d is having 6 electrons here. 3d having how many electrons? 6 electrons. Now it undergoes a D2sp3 hybridization as when ligand like cyanide is approaching. Ligand like who is approaching? When cyanide ligand is approaching to your what? When cyanide ligand is approaching the central metal ion. Imagine this as central metal ion, and cyanide, 6 cyanides are approaching towards your Fe plus 2. So then some changes has to happen within this, and that change we study as a hybridization. And the moment you write electronic configuration followed by its arrow representation in terms of arrows, you will try to understand that. Okay, so cyanide, as you know, that is a strong field ligand. It's a strong field ligand. Carbon containing ligand, nitrogen containing ligand are usually strong field ligands. When this strong field ligand is approaching towards your metal ion, what happens? Forceful pairing of electrons against Hund's rule. Against Hund's rule. How many in Fe plus 2? In Fe plus 2 you are having what? 6 electrons. These 6 electrons will pair up and results in what? 3 pairs. 3 pairs. So now you got 2 vacant d orbitals. Now these 2 vacant d orbitals with 1 s orbital, 4s orbital, and 3 4p orbitals intermixes in a hypothetical way and produces what? D2sp3 hybrid orbitals whose geometry is a octahedral. The geometry of these hybrid orbitals is what? Octahedral. And into these hybrid orbitals, who will come and sit? Who will come and overlap? Who will come and overlap? Cyanides will come and overlap. They will bring their pairs of electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 pairs you are having from 6 cyanide ligands. 6 cyanide ligands. Thus you get what? Hexacyanoferrate 2 complex ion. In what geometry they will get? You will get that one in octahedral geometry. So you have a look at this. This I will try to enlarge. So that's the octahedral. You can simply draw something like this. Instead of writing C triple bond N, even you can go for writing Cn, 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 and Cn. Okay, so that's how the geometry looks like. So anyway, so that's your cyanide, hexacyanoferrate 2 complex ion. So from this, you just, is there any unpaired electron here? No unpaired electron. Which orbitals are used? N-1d orbitals. Sure, your answer. I would expect these answers. Geometry is what? Octahedral. And here also it is what complex? Inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex. Why inner orbital complex? Because what is involved? N-1d orbitals are involved. N-1d orbitals are involved. So you can say this is an inner orbital complex. And spins are paired up. So you can say it is a low spin complex. Low spin complex. And is there any unpaired electron? No unpaired electrons. So your mu will become 0 magnetons. And you can say this is a diamagnetic complex. Diamagnetic complex. So at the end of any complex, you should be able to answer all these things. Okay. So that's how the complex is given. So okay. Let us see few more complexes in the next class. FEF6 and all. Thank you. Thank you for this.